Hey guys, this is part 8 of the platformer tutorial. So in this video I'm going to be showing you how to add music and sounds to the game. So first thing is first, we are going to need some libraries. I'm going to be using the Java Sound API, and by default Java Sound does not have any support for compressed music. So things like MP3s are out of the question. So the easiest way, I think, is to use this thing called MP3 SPI. It uses JLayer and this Tritonius library to set that up. And since it's an SPI, it's pretty much transparent to me, so I can just continue using Java Sound without any problems. I don't need to change the way I code. So that's useful. So I'm going to go ahead and create a new folder here. I'm going to call this libs here, and I'm going to add these 3 jars. I'm going to have these in the description. You can also just find these online by yourself if you want. So now that we have that, I'm going to go into the project, right click it, build path, configure build path, and you should have, I'm not sure if you have a different version of Eclipse than I do, but basically you need to go into the Java build path window here, and the list of jars and stuff that are on the build path, we're going to add those 3 from libs. So just go ahead and select those 3, add them in. So we have those 3 in there, and that's pretty much that. Just OK. You should have now a new thing down here called reference libraries, and these 3 jars should be in there. So now, before we get started with audio, we should be wary about, since we're using audio now, we have to be careful about loading times. Audio is much larger than graphics and images, and in the game right now, the way that we have it, everything is loaded up pretty much instantly because they're just images, right? And they're pretty small files. But when it comes to audio files are much larger, so that will incur some kind of loading time. So that means we need a little bit of restructuring. Over here in the game state manager, we're no longer going to be using an array list. Instead, we are going to be using just a regular array, game state array. And over here, we need to keep track of how many game states we actually have. Public static final int num game states. We only have 2 right now, so I'll just set that at 2. And over here in the constructor, no more new array list. This is just new game state, and then num game states, like that. And we're not adding anything now. Now we're going to have a loading and unloading of game states. We're not gonna, because right now, before the previous thing, when we did the game state constructor, it just added every game state into the list. It loaded pretty much everything in the game right on the startup. And now we're not going to load everything in the game on startup. We are going to be loading game states as they are needed. So right now, current state is menu state, and we are going to create a new function called load state. And we're going to pass in current state. So let's go ahead and create that function now. Private void load state in state. So what we're going to do in load state is pretty much just a bunch of if-else statements. So if state is equal to menu state, then game states state is equal to new menu state this, and same thing for the other states. We only have level 1 state left, so game states state is equal to new level 1 state this, and we also need some way to unload states. Private void unload state int state. And this is pretty simple. All we're going to do is set the state to null. Game state's state is equal to null. So that hopefully frees up some memory. Even though this is a small 2D game, I don't even know why you would need this loading and unloading, but just this is a good coding practice anyway. So over here, we're no longer using this get because we're not using an array list. We're using a regular array, so get rid of the get and just replace everything with these square brackets. Game states, current state dot whatever. So for all of these, I'm just going to use this replace function dot get and replace that with this. And over here, I'm going to find this and replace with this. Cool. So that's that. We're using an array now, so have to use this square bracket notation. Load state, unload state, set state. Now we have to modify set state. Current state, set that, and then current state dot init. We're no longer going to be using init. I don't think init has too much use right now, so I'm going to comment it out. But now what we're going to do is unload state, or wait, nope, that's wrong. First we're going to unload state, the current state. Then we're going to set the new state, and then we're going to load that one. So that's pretty much that. Also, there's some kind of sort of concurrency problem with threads, and I'm trying to find a way to fix it. But right now, this is the fastest fix. I'm just going to put these in a try catch. Here, update and draw, I'm going to put these in try catch blocks. So try, and then catch. The problem, I think, is some kind of thread issue with the key press and key release, the key events, key listeners, I mean. So I'm just going to put these in a try catch. Let's see if this actually works. So the menu works, and I can get into level 1 state. So we've managed to successfully turn this array list into an array and have this loading and unloading function. Now that that's done, we can actually get into loading some audio. So in source, new package, call this audio. I'm going to use a new class here called audio player. I like to use my own classes. We're going to use the Java's clip class, but I'm going to use an audio player to wrap around it. So the audio player pretty much just does everything for us. So the constructor, public audio player, string s. String s is the path to the audio file that we want to load up. So try, we need to actually read in the file. Try catch, as always, and e.print stack trace. Okay. First of all, we're going to need an audio input stream to read in this stuff. Call it AIS is equal to audio system dot get audio input stream, and this is going to be pretty much the same thing that we always do. Get class. Get resource as stream, and this is in S, pretty much. We're using S. So that's the audio input stream. Ooh, need to import that. Okay, so import Java X sound sampled, just everything, just import everything from there. Java X sound sampled everything. So that's that. Now we need to find the format, audio format, base format. This is the MP3 format, the compressed format that we're reading in. So AIS.get format. What we want to do is we want to decode it. So we need a second format here, decode format. So new audio format. And I just looked this up online. I'm not sure what the specific requirements for uncompressed. I'm not like an audio engineer, so I don't know any of this stuff pretty much. So audio format dot encoding dot PCM signed, like this. I don't know what PCM is. Base format dot get sample rate 16. Base format dot get channels. Base format dot get channels times 2. Base format dot get sample rate and false. So now that we have the decoding format, we have to actually convert it. So we need another input stream here to stream it into the decoded format. So I'm going to call this DIAS, decoded audio input stream. So audio system dot get audio input stream, and here we're going to use the decoded decode format. Oops, let me move this into the next line. Let me move this down a little bit. Okay, so now decode format and AIS clip is equal to audio system dot get clip and clip dot open the decoded format. So clip, we're gonna have to add that up here. Private clip. So clip is pretty much the data structure that holds the audio. So we're gonna need a couple of functions here. Public void play, and what we're gonna do here is first make sure that the clip is actually there. If clip is null, then just return. We don't want to play. Then we want to stop if it is playing. So private void stop is if clip.is running, then just clip.stop. So we want to stop it if it is playing, and then we want to set the clip to the start position, so set frame 0, and we want to just start playing. That's simple. Oh, this should be public, not private. Public void stop, and also here public void close. We need some way to close the clip. So first, you want to stop, and then clip.close. So that's pretty much our audio player right there. Cool. So if we go back into level 1 state, let's go ahead and test this out. First we need to import it. Import audio.audio player. And let's go ahead and try this bad boy out. A private audio player. And I'll call this BG music. Oh, right. First of all, we need the music files. So over here in resources, I'm going to add 2 new folders. One's called music, and one is called SFX, sound effects. So I have the music for level 1 right here. I'm going to just put it into the music folder, and I also have the sound effects for the player, scratch and jump only. I'll put that in sound effects. There we go. So that's that. Let's go ahead into init and actually create this. So BG music is equal to new audio player, and we're going to pass in slash music slash level 1-1.mp3, and we're going to do BG music.play. So let me just test out to see if this actually works. Oh, you'll notice that there's some kind of loading lag. Okay, so the music does play indeed, so that's good. So that's the background music. All we do is load it up and play it. So let's go ahead and try the sound effects. Jump and scratch, those are for the player. So we're going to go into the player class, and we're going to create some audio files here. I think maybe using a hash map is best, or I think using a hash map is the best. So private hash map string and then audio player. I'm just going to call this SFX. So if you don't know what a hash map is, it's basically like data storage with key value pairs. In this case, string is the key, audio player is the value. So I need to import those. Import java.util.hashmap, and over here I need to import audio player. Import audio.audioplayer. So there's our hash map of sound effects. Let's go ahead and set this up. SFX is equal to new hash map string audio player pairs, and let's go ahead and load this stuff in. So sfx.put, we want to put a new pair in here, and we want let's call the first one jump, and new audio player, and I'm going to give it the path to the jump mp3. This is just /sfx/jump.mp3, and we're going to put the other one scratch, and this is audio player dot wait, what is this? New audio player, new audio player, and then this is /sfx/scratch.mp3. So that's that. We've put two new audio player string audio player pairs into the hash map, and when we want to play them, we have to play them at the appropriate times. So let's go ahead down here and find out where we can do this stuff. So jumping and not falling, jump, start. So here we can actually just start playing. So what we want to do is sfx.get, and then we're just going to give it jump, the key. Get the key, and this is the value, and then dot play. So it's pretty much that simple, the hash map. That's for jumping, and we also need one for scratching. Here, might as well put it in here, where we set the animation. So sfx.get, and then this is scratch. Scratch.play. Let's go ahead. I'm going to turn off the, go back into here, and I'm not going to play the background music. I'm actually not going to load it either. Okay, just so I can test out the sound effects. Make sure they're working. Okay. So that's working fine. I don't have any fireball sound effects yet. Okay, so that's working. So actually, let's try it with the background music on. There's that loading lag again. Okay, so that's pretty much that. I'm going to go ahead and stop this video here. I'm going to have a link to all of this stuff, the music and the sound effects, and the 3 libraries that we need for playing MP3 files. So, yeah, thanks for watching.